Hello, my name is Theo Welling, and I'd like you to subscribe to this page. Just hit the subscribe button below, and then just to the right of that, hit the bell button, which will inform you of when I make more videos. When I post them, you'll get a notification. Hello, my name is Theo Welling, and I want to talk to you today about some of my newest research. My newest research is a combination of taking a couple dozen, if not several hundred, little branch ideas that I've had over the course of the last multitude of years, well, more like a decade and a half or so, combining them together into a one solid, consistent, and scientifically verifiable idea. You have the pyramids, which are squared off. The pyramids are squared off satellites. From the cosmos to the pyramids is macro electromagnetic absorption. For the planet, it's micro electromagnetic wave vibrations, signatures, and such absorption. As the planet puts off various assorted energy and waves, vibrations, and the like, frequencies and such, it's absorbed into the pyramids. As the planetary waves, the celestial waves, the cosmos waves and such come down, as the sun's heat comes down and impacts, that's macro. So there's micro and macro merging into the pyramids. The pyramids are also prisms. So as the sun does its dance from east to west, the solar radiation and the light comes in and comes from the east, and then hits the prisms on the east side, expanding the rocks, which the rocks are the limestone, the granite, and some other rocks are over 90% quartz. So you have hundreds of tons of quartz being either expanded upon or compressed. Well, the compressed quartz releases electricity. So you now have electricity involved with the macro impulses from the energy waves from the planet, and the micro from the planet, and the macro from the cosmos. So as the thermodynamics and the light from the sun interacts with that, it produces a stream of energy that is not yet compressed to being electricity yet. Now you add the prism. Now you add the prism of even more waves of energy that's not quite electricity yet. Now you add the thermodynamics and the expansion of the east side, the compression of the west side, which does release electricity, and then you have electricity flowing through and gathering up all the waves and frequencies and vibrations and such to be able to direct it at a certain point. High noon, west. West, all that built up electricity in various assorted forms, and scientists who are good at these individual fields can then backfill in the technical information that I'm missing, because I'm not educated in this subject. So the west side, the sun is on the west; it's setting. So it's streaming through, and the prism. The west side prism is absorbing the light, bending it, breaking white light into its double rainbow form, Roy G. Biv and Roy G. Biv in opposite directions. That is the double Roy G. Biv, the double rainbow, and the cosmic energy waves, and the micro planet energy waves, and the other various assorted energy waves are then collect together and are then pushed through by the prism, are pushed east. Now they go. There's a double prism north and south on the west wall. Then that streams through to the double prism on the east wall, that then bends even further, and then there's a causeway directly in front of that. that causeway directly in front of that channels all that electricity, all that energy, and now electricity into a structuralized format into the 1 mile, 2 mile long causeway that used to be there when the pyramids were first built. This applies to all 16 of them. Okay. You then have all that energy and electricity and waves and signatures and all that kind of good stuff channeled into a column, into a organized chamber, long hallway chamber, to the entrance temple of the pyramid. The entrance temples to the east-ish, from northeast to southeast. The pyramids are in different degrees. They're in different angles from the pyramid itself. So you have the entrance temple that has an ATEN into it. The ATEN is a circle, or for a missing better fictionalized term, that circle would be a fictionalized. It'd be Stargate. So you have the Stargate, or in the fictionalized language of whatever culture the old Pole got it from, would be a Chapa Eye. Also, layers and layers and layers of fiction, but that's not the point. The point is, the show is focused on the idea of a Einstein-Rosen bridge. The Einstein-Rosen bridge from the ATEN at the entrance temple A to the B, the exit at a certain given point. For Freemasonry, hello brothers, the farthest south pyramid is the Bet Pyramid. The pyramids are also Siamese twins, double Janus. From the Jodie pyramid to the Bet pyramid is Siamese twins, the double-headed Janus, which today being December 24th. Last year would be the previous year would be 2020, and that's old man, long old person, grown, what have you, of 2020. Baby New Year 2021. West face is the old man. East face is the new year, is the baby, or the young child, or the young person. Which, if you apply that to the east face and west faces of the pyramids, it also applies individually, not just the double spine of Janus, which is the schema of Rome. The entire Roman culture operated based off of the concepts, the ideas, and the ceremony that was developed to reflect these pyramids. And that would be the Memento Mori ceremony. The name memento, M-E-M, in E-N-T-O, comes from the fourth pyramid down from Chidefre, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, Mem-Kare, Mem's sacred place, Mem-Kare. You have the disc, the ATEN disc, at the entrance temple of the pyramid, times 16. An exit gate, temple, structure, such, at the B point. For the Bet pyramid, the tailbone of Janus, that would be King Solomon's temple, brothers. For the Jodie Isis pyramid, which is one pyramid south of the Pepin the First pyramid, that causeway bisects the Cave of the Nativity, which happens to be very, very important for an event 200 years ago. Tonight, supposedly Lord Jesus was born in that cave under the Church of the Nativity. Well, the Jodie Isis pyramid, its causeway bisects that cave. So you have some very interesting ideas regarding the wise men leaving the Jodie Isis pyramid and an Einstein-Rosen bridge and arriving in the gatehouse, or some kind of an external temple structure to that cave. They arrive at the cave. They arrive at that temple, leave the structure, and then enter the cave. But that's not the really, really interesting part. And this is 5 of the pyramids, the causeways, their causeways bisect ziggurats that are in that semi-immediate area. You got towers that are a couple hundred feet, if not 1,000 feet tall, 5 of them. I know there was more ziggurats than that, but those are the ones I could find easily, and I mapped them out using Google Earth fairly well. So you have those ziggurats. So you have the causeways that are in the form of an ATEN. The causeways make up the limbs of the ATEN, the circle, and then the appendages, the fingers, the feet, the hand, toe, whatever you want. There's about 2 dozen different names to define the offshoots from the body, from the circle of the ATEN. The ATEN is what the pyramids, what the causeways are. They're in the form of the ATEN, which is the oldest monotheistic deity in Egypt. The ATEN existed centuries before the first hints of written pantheon were around. So you have an array. Reference the movie Contact with Jodie Foster in the early 1990s. Though it was filmed, at least half of it was filmed on the St. Augustine Plain west of Socorro, New Mexico, in a place called the Very Large Array, or VLA as the native locals call it. You have an array that absorbs the EM waves, and frequencies, signatures, and that kind of stuff, and then channels it to a place that can be identified. You then have and then five of those array lines, those array branches, the fingers, the limb, the appendage of the ATEN, and then the appendages, the feet, hands, limbs, arm, leg, fingers, toes, appendage, whatever, of the circle of the ATEN, and then the 5 ziggurats that I know that the causeways bisect. It would be interesting to find out if one was the thumb, finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. It'd be very interesting if the causeways were actually designed in that form, that hand format. Which, if they are, which I strongly suggest, think that could very likely be the case, then the Agony and the Ecstasy, which is the movie and the concept regarding the painting of the Sistine Chapel, which is highly weird and unusual and such. The painting of the Sistine Chapel is called the Agony and the Ecstasy. Well, that's the momentum ceremony right then and there. You have you have a closed loop Ohm's law of the group itself. Yeah, you have the zero. That's where it begins. You have a community that works together. Ohm's law, a closed circuit. Part 1A would be some type of violence, some type of assault, some type of inappropriate behavior, the agony. 1B would be some type of an emotional response, from the most innocent to the most not, in various assorted gradations of how those things can apply, from the most non-consensual to the most consensual, everything between an emotional response. 1B, ecstasy. You then have 1C, which is where you have half an O, half a zero, half a circle. You would then have half a circle. You would then have literally the building of a C, which also happens to be the physics equation for light. So you have half a C, which goes from point 1C. It bypasses part 2 to land at part C, at part 3, which then turns into a nautilus shell, a Fibonacci sequence. It comes around and does a tight little curl from way out to a tight little curl, and that tight little curl then produces ideas. Well, the Romans called that, the Latin word for the production of ideas and such, that is literally by the Romans called genius, where the information bypasses absorbs information, absorbs the stuff, the 100th monkey stuff from the group. Part 2 is community effort, community involvement. The community is involved in 0, and the community is involved in part 2, where they either approve or disapprove of the actions of the 1A and 1B. That approval or disapproval and such of 1A and 1B then gets sent across an Einstein-Rosen bridge to the other side, to the afterlife, or to divine, to heaven, to hell, to whatever. And then that there's a divine communication back, which would be the genius concept. The bypassing of part 2, the skirting the part 2, is where this applies. So you have the 1C, and then the agony and the ecstasy produces the Sistine Chapel painting and frescoes. But you have all the pyramids and the causeways and all that energy and electricity and all that kind of stuff. Well, then you have the 1A and 1B in electricity format, of course. So you have the 1A, which would be the splitting of the light, and you have the 1B, which would be the channeling all that stuff into the causeway. Then you have the 1C, would be the Einstein-Rosen bridge from the Einstein-Rosen bridge from the entrance temple to the pyramid to the west to the destination. In this case, we're talking about the 5 specific pyramids, causeways that bisect the Ziggurats. And at the Ziggurats you have towers, and those towers then, in effect, broadcast a radio tower, broadcast using the ionosphere to bounce the signal off of to be able to reach the planet. Well, you then go to, and by the way, this next part is a perfect right angle triangle from Rome to the hip of Janus, out to where the Ziggurats are, and the Ziggurats are in here according to that layout format. You then have it broadcast up into the ionosphere, and that thing then comes back to here. About the bounce back comes back to here, 1,000 so miles away, and there's this satellite dish that is known for another purpose. By the way, that other purpose is radically strongly connected to 1A assaults. There's lots and lots of assaults going on with mass murder, and the amount of intimacy, the emotional connections and such between the dead bodies, and also the fact that both males and females were heavily attracted to the people who were performing in the Colosseum, and the ones who survived had there was some intimacy and emotional connections going on. There is stories of very rich, very prominent Romans who would then want to interact with the gladiators because they lived, and that interaction was emotional. So you have the whole memento mori ceremony built into the Colosseum. Well, that's the memento mori ceremony would be the secondary reason why the Colosseum was built. The primary reason why the Colosseum was built, it was as a satellite dish. It is an ovalish, not a round, but an ovalish satellite dish, and it's designed perfectly to do that exact goal. The audience sits in acoustically perfect sound channeling rings into the base. Then you have a couple feet of sand, which is all quartz. Then you have a foot or so of oak, which is fantastic for channeling sound vibrations. Some of the best instruments in the world are made of oak. And then you have the basement, which is made of, which the Bose company probably, or either the science is exactly the same, but the Bose company copied the basement of the Colosseum to make its sound channeling for its speakers, which has been determined to be close to the perfect acoustical sound. So you have a perfect sound channeler, a micro sound channeler, and of course the iris above, the canopy above was an iris. It could open and close as an iris. Yeah, shutter, and you have channel down to the basement, and then you have sound channelers that then channel it out to specifically built listening rooms that were then turned into other things over time, but they were perfect listening rooms. So you have the cosmos and the planet pouring various and assorted electricity and electromagnetics and such into the pyramids. You then have the sun and with thermodynamics and with prism effect, creating electricity and channeling all that stuff into the causeway that then goes to the entrance pyramid, as then Einstein-Rosen bridge channeled to either any one of 16 specific destinations, be it one of the 5 Ziggurats, be it King Solomon's Temple, be it the cave of the Nativity, be it other, at this point, non-researched locations. Then up through the Ziggurat to be broadcast out to the planet, to the world, bounced off the ionosphere to the Colosseum. Although there was an equal satellite there before, previous to Nero's situation, there was a city of pillars before the Colosseum existed. That city of pillars was also designed to be a satellite dish. That city of pillars was actually destroyed by Nero. The Domus Aurea was built in a place, then it was destroyed, and then the materials were used to build King Solomon's Temple. The materials were used to build the Colosseum. There's a whole huge amount of backstory behind that, and the materials came from King Solomon's Temple, but that's not the point right here, right now. So you have an absorption, you have a triangle, a right angle triangle. The vibrations are collected here, sent here, broadcasted out here, and absorbed here. Pyramids, the Ziggurats, Rome. Now, you have a channel from the Capitoline Hill, Esquiline Hill, Palatine Hill to the Colosseum. You have a channel here. Of course, there's a hill here too, but the broadcaster would be the satellite, the Colosseum that's right here. You have a channel here, and this is the center of Rome. This is the Forum, the east side of the Forum and the west side of the Forum, the middle of the Forum. So you have all that stuff going on. The 3 pillars in a perfect right angle format. Then you have channeling, and this channel is pointed directly at the head of the west face of Janus. It goes down the spinal cord of the west face of Janus, and then has a bit of a skip to the hip of Janus, the west face of Janus, the hip. This is a straight line from Rome to the tailbone of the pyramid. There's a straight line between. So you have a channel. The Roman Forum channels that direction. Now the Vatican is 1.5 miles that way, straight line. This is all in a dead straight line. There's a lot going on here in ancient architecture, 2600 BC to 2100 BC, which also directly, fascinatingly involves Jacob. Because you have here is the Ziggurat of Eridu, which the Ziggurat of Eridu is the Tower of Babel, and you have here is the pyramids, and right after Abraham left this area and his father and brothers were killed in combat, or what have you, they left this area, went to here. So you have, and then Jacob, a couple of generations later, Jacob built a thing, Jacob's ladder, which was designed to be a ladder for the angels to ascend and descend from heaven using his ladder. Well, this is in a dead straight line. The pyramids and Rome, although it wouldn't be called Rome for many centuries, for many millennia, at least two, you have this straight line. Before, it was called the city of Samhain, S-A-M-H-A-I-N, or pronounced in Manx Gaelic, Sabin. Well, since the number 7 and the Latin letters S, E, B, and N did not exist yet, but Manx Gaelic Savin did. So the city was actually called the city of Savin Hills, otherwise known as, also pronounced as Samhain, S-A-M-H-A-I-N, which translates into English, modern English, as October 31st, Halloween. Which Halloween, the definition of Halloween itself is Janus, the Siamese twins of Janus. 1 foot in the spiritual, 1 foot in the physical. And the Halloween costumes are acknowledging the spiritual aspects of life. So you have an entire architectural structure designed to read, to be able to communicate, to be a electromagnetic wave radio telescope of sorts. You have towers, you have the dish, and you have macro and micro, as well as an array. So the pyramids would be squared off. The pyramids would be squared off satellites, of course, in prisms. They'd be squared off and prismized. So you have a lot of communications tools going on here that work automatically, that do not require any kind of machinery to make them work. They were built to work automatically through just sheer construction and using materials that's what the material does. It doesn't need to have an electrical generator. It is an electrical generator. You compress quartz and it's going to release electricity, period. You don't need an electrical generator, you just need to compress the quartz through thermodynamics in the sun. So there's a lot going on here that needs to be deeply explored. And I thank you very much for listening. My name is T.R. Welling. Please subscribe to this channel. Hit the little button to the side, and if you could, hit the like button. And thank you for your time. Merry Christmas.